Hi, I'm Luke Carbone, and this is History Help. This week we'll be talking about Plessy versus Ferguson. Plessy versus Ferguson was a landmark case in United States history upholding the constitutionality of state laws requiring racial segregation in public facilities under the doctrine being separate but equal. The case involved a man named Homer Plessy. He was one-eighth black and 7/8 Caucasian. He had the appearance of a Caucasian man. However, everyone in his hometown of New Orleans knew his racial heritage. He had a pre-Rosa Parks protest and tried to sit in the white car of a train. However, due to the state's segregation laws, he was arrested and eventually found guilty by Judge Ferguson. The case eventually reached the Supreme Court in 1896. The Justice William Billings Brown supported the separate but equal cause, however, and as long as each race's public facilities were equal. Basically, Plessy versus Ferguson legitimized the state laws establishing racial segregation. However, let's talk about what Plessy versus Ferguson did to our free country. I'm going to talk about it at 3 points today: socially, economically, and politically. Blacks were denied the right to vote by grandfather clauses, poll taxes, white primaries, and literacy tests. There were severely regulated social interactions between all the races, as Jim Crow signs were placed above water fountains, door entrances, and in public facilities, really reminding us how equal we are. All of the black facilities were grossly inferior, and sometimes there weren't any at all. Plessy gave Jim Crow states a legal way to ignore their constitutional obligations to their black citizens. Some of the most ridiculous Jim Crow laws included: never assume that a white person is lying, never impute dishonorable intentions to a white person, never suggest that a white person is from an inferior class, and so on. However, if blacks were to violate any of these laws, their homes, their lives, it would all be in danger. The economy of this time was often referred to as Jim Crow economy. In many instances, whites would refuse to sell their land to blacks. And lending organizations, even outside the South, were unwilling to give any loans to African Americans. Lynch mobs were also a very legitimate fear for African American men and women. And taking a job from a white man wouldn't put you on their good side. Jim Crow laws sustained black economy dependency. And if this were to change and a rise in black middle class were to happen, white supremacy would be challenged, and white political power would also be challenged. Lastly, politically. The passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution had granted blacks the same legal protections as whites, but not really, of course, as the Supreme Court helped to undermine the constitutional protections of blacks with Plessy versus Ferguson, which legalized separate but equal, which legalized Jim Crow laws, which legalized the ways that they kept blacks from voting and having any real political say in America. Thank you for watching History Help with Luke Carbone and my extremely awkward rendition of John Green's videos. I'll see you back in class.